Hey there, welcome to Ton Coin Wyckoff Technical Analysis session. So Ton, it's been a while since we covered it and looks like it's still within accumulation. That's not something surprising. So let's see how it looks lately, and let's start with the weekly chart as usual. Here, when we look at this chart, 2 weeks ago when we conducted this session, the price was still traveling above this upward trend support line, and this week it has already fallen below. That's totally fine. After a sign of strength, it's normal for the price to come down for some further tests. So last time we already put in like, is it going to come down for a spring, or is it going to jump all the way towards the PSY, the preliminary supply? So neither has happened. So it did not fall that dip below or outside of this long-term playground zone, this white box. That's where the selling climax was, similar level as the bottom edge of the playground zone. Neither it has reached the test level. Those are around like 2.8, 2.7. Currently it's still above that. It's at around $3. So it's not a key level over here, but there would be some support given these bunch of candles that found support at this level of around $3. So that's the first point. It seems currently it's still above this intermediate support level, so that may be a relieving sign for the bulls. And so since it has dropped outside of this line, how do we assess it then? Let's move the line across, so just touching the wicks of these candles. Basically, what we are seeing now is that we've got potentially another uptrend support line, and more importantly, a triangle extended all the way to mid-December. So here, if I adjust this line to maybe, let's do 85. Okay, so that's where it is. December 15th, that's why I was pointing to the date over here. Okay, now I see where the problem is, because you don't see what I see. So I have to make a little bit of change just very quickly. Now the day comes back. The date, December 15th, was the one I was referring to. Now it's showing up at the bottom of your screen. Sorry about that. So here, let's put a sign of strength back. Hopefully it's going to travel along this line and show us another sign of strength, instead of going down to show us more tests. So let's drag it over here. So the PSY seems to be only happening at a later time in the timeline. So that's where it's heading to, ideally. And then if we look at the Bollinger Band and Kono squeeze, a squeeze has started. I would consider it started early June, much like some other altcoins that I covered today. And then now is coming back to a narrow range trading. When the power of the squeeze eventually got released, that's when a bigger price swing will happen. So for Ton Coin, we don't have much of a reference because it's quite young. What we had was the only time here when the squeeze happened back in January, just this year. The price got pushed very hard towards its selling climax. So if you're new to this indicator, this purple and orange lines I'm talking about, whenever the purple got very close to or inside the orange, a price swing will happen, a bigger swing will happen. It will be bigger if a squeeze happens in the weekly time frame than the daily. So that's the tricky part of it. If we see a squeeze in the daily, it's going to swing within the boundary where the weekly chart is allowing it to. But if it squeezes in the weekly, that's going to be massive moves. So remember that point. So that's pretty much it for weekly time frame, and let's go to the daily and see what's happening. 2 weeks back, we put in these question marks. Is ton going through or coming down for another test, or is it going through a backup or last point of support period? It looks to me this plateauing or like level horizontal trading is more like the behavior of this instead of a test. The test should come down below this, like around this white line over here, the solid white line. Let me move this so it's not affecting what we're going to discuss. Okay, so here, one test, the second test did not happen, there was a second test over here, so basically after selling climax, there was only one second test. You can say there were 2 tests over here very quickly, but I would consider them just one because it's kind of like sideways trading. And then there is this little, some people would say that looks like 2 other mini distribution cycles. That's totally fine. I would rather simplify it because they are all below the preliminary support, so they should still technically be in the accumulation zone, not a distribution. Just that the exception is if an asset, maybe an altcoin or whatever stock, if it lost confidence from all its investors, it can go that deep and like do distribution in that level. But I don't think that's the case for Toncoin. So here, back to this kind of uptrend. So after these, like, I don't know, double head or double shoulder double head, depending on how you call it, we're at a point where it looks like it's getting, so we see it's like getting support at this, right? It's leveled, the tip of the candlesticks. So it's probably too small for you to see on the mobile phone. Let me make it crazily large. Okay, that's what I'm talking about here. This seems to be a support level, right? And if I extend further, all the way to March, and even this, February this year. Let me turn this to a dashed line as you see in other charts. So here, that's a level where we see some candlesticks either rejected or supported by this line way back in the timeline a couple of months back. So the thing here is, it found support first time back in end of August. We are in early September now, 1 week, exactly 1 week after what happened here. It seems to still find support. You see when the price got below this line horizontal, plus this line as well, 2 yellow dashed line, it got pushed very hard back up towards the level where the horizontal line is. That's the bull teams at play, I would say. So they pushed this very high. Unfortunately, there's no volume indication over here. Is it me that has accidentally turned this off? Let me quickly check. I hope not. Let's see. Okay, it's me. Sorry about that. When I was adjusting the chart, I accidentally closed this. So here, that's a good sign to me because this red bar, this tall red bar over here, while the price got pushed out, means that there was a lot of buying at that low point, pushing the price back to where we're seeing. Just that on August 28th, last Thursday, this was a lot of selling, this bar over here. So it looks like it is getting to the final stage where the bulls and bears are exchanging what they have on hands. Because this, what happened after the sign of strength, may become a shakeout for the people that are like worried that Toncoin is going to dip even further, which it has, but this horizontal trading is showing us there are quite a bit of buying at this level. So ideally, it will follow this upward support line and this ascending triangle, eventually breaking above and challenge the 3.9 key level. The deadline would be near mid-December. It's a while, like till then, I understand, but that's what the chart shows, and we just have to give it a little bit of patience. Assuming Toncoin is still being healthily developed and supported by the community with good business engagement, that will eventually happen. So when you try to understand or invest in crypto, be very careful. We're not investing in, how does I describe, precious metals, because they have their use. Crypto projects, they are more like companies. So if they have good businesses, a lot of customers, community in this case for crypto, it will eventually thrive. But if it loses its supporters, much like businesses, if it loses customers, obviously there's no way the price is going to go up. So keep an objective mind, trade safe. There's still one more session to come, and it's SHIP that I have promised a member of the community that I will cover before I change to the new roster.